The model I share is the newly released SD3 model. It's five types of workflow. How to use? I will introduce them one by one later. Let me give you a brief introduction. The first one is the most common integration model. I have detailed annotations on the functions and usage of these three models. I put all the raw image models in separate language understanding models of SD3. Or downloaded and deployed on this Brain Cloud. If you can see the latest workflow, SD3 raw picture, that means the platform has been updated. The platform should be updated today. If you don't want to deploy, because this model is very big, deploy this one, download all its models. It should be around 40 gigabytes. If you don't want to deploy, you can directly open the Brain click on my mirror, just like what I use now, all deployed. Just use it directly. You don't have to worry about deploying and installing nodes. You can just use it directly. I will choose here the biggest model and the most complete. This is the first way to use. The first way to use it is the one he provides. He has three models in total. The first is a single model. The second is Model Plus. Text comprehension plus complex text comprehension. Bigger. This is the most complete. FP16 is the most complete. The one below is the half model. These two are the same, just the big one and the small one. He is integrated here. If you only use this, it won't work. So if you want the full version, just use this one. His raw image model comes with this text understanding model. It is equivalent to him bringing the following three. It's over here. No need, use it like this. Of course, he has shortcomings. His model is big. Of course, if you have a 4090 graphics card, it will run slowly. Like me online. Run directly using this 4090 graphics card. He's very fast, usually 10 seconds. The new version is a bit more comprehensive. Can use complex language. There is also text generation. Only generate English for now. The image size is arbitrary. He supports. For settings, please refer to my default. The first one is the most convenient. The integrated model. The downside is that this model is very large. If you don't know how to use the model, you can see here how to use the three models. I am currently using this complete integrated model. It contains all these integrated together. This is the simplest way to use. Just one solution. The rest is just normal workflow. Refer to my settings. It is said that if this CFG is too low, what kind of confusion would it cause? For example, generator. 325 fingers. This error will increase. Okay, let me introduce the second one. Speed up. I'm going to speed up. Reduce efficiency. Boom, boom, boom. The second one is the basic version of the raw picture. It is used separately. The advantage is that it is a small model. Fast generation speed. For example, for the raw image model, I choose a single model. Does not include text comprehension, so one side. This is equivalent to a single model image generation model. Then the text comprehension, this new version. Note that this node requires ComfyUI to be updated to the latest version. Because the latest version supports SD3. That's why there are these three. Three loaders stacked together. If it is an old version, he only with single or dual loaders. Not enough. This is three. Simple understanding. The first one is global. Can understand the global content of the prompt word. The second one starts with I. This is a local understanding. Some specific. You can add a hint. A detailed description of the part. You can understand it this way. The last one is more powerful. I chose the large version of T5. Of course, here is a smaller version of 8. It is best to choose 16 because I have already installed the model. You just use the best. This is the benefit of using ComfyUI for online mirroring. Don't worry about downloading and installing this model to connect to the deployment and other issues. Choose. The last one is understanding natural language. Just describe. Just fill in the prompt words according to your natural language. But you must have this model. Your natural language can be interpreted. You can understand it this way. He created the picture through this combination. The others are default. This sampler is just separated. This weight is also controlled separately, controlling the way the prompt works. This is just a color adjustment in the control generation process. There are detailed annotations here. If you don't understand, you can read this annotation. If you don't understand, these effects are described in detail. The role of the model and its impact on the image. So, on the above integrated board, this is equivalent to directly embedding the text understanding model into this large model. So the one above is, if the hardware is good, just use the above. The following is suitable for poor hardware. Then you use the separate. This way his model is small, because this one is only a few GB. The one above is 15 GB. So the top is big. The following is, this kind of split type is small, and the image generation speed is fast. Perfect effect. That must be very strong. So this won't be explained. You will know it when you use it. Then I will introduce this advanced version. The advanced version also uses this split. Same, this model selects a single model. This choice maximum 16. Intelligent language understanding. This model of the one above is the module node. The advantage is that he separated the prompt words. It is equivalent to separating these three pieces. He specifically targeted one of his keyword nodes. In this way, you can write a global description of the entire picture here. Then write this. Some description of the second detail. The third one is to describe it in natural language. 3 methods corresponding to 3 models to use. Okay. The next is the reverse prompt word. This is to control the weight of the prompt word. This is, generally, not so finely controlled. Of course, you can try it yourself. The result is stronger than this one. This side, prompt word is integration. The difference here is just to separate the prompt words. More precise control. If you need more precise control, of course, you choose this version. But I don't think the difference is that big, unless the scene is very complicated. This function is useful. If your scene is not complicated, there's no point in using this. Because your original suggestion was very simple. He understands there is no need to use this complicated. Okay. This effect is also very perfect. The settings are basically the same. You can understand, this setting is just an intermediate value provided by the default official. The value in the middle can be adjusted up or down according to the situation, based on the effect you generate. Another one is a high-definition restoration. Here we use a separate prompt. Of course, if his picture is not complicated, just use normal text. This is all the same. Then he just generated, through this, built an SD amplifier, image zoom, plus this basic version for X magnification, HD restoration, repair it. Very perfect. Compared to the large graph you generate all at once, he's faster. If you are using this 4090 graphics card online, he's also very fast. It usually takes just a few seconds to complete. So this will be fast only when used with the 4090 graphics card, because these models have big heads. Anyway, you understand. Total 40 GB. Of course, I'm using the online ComfyUI image, so you don't have to worry about how big the model is or what hardware is used to run it. Because you have chosen the 4090 graphics card, its speed will not be slow. So, this takes into account this. What is half? What optimization and reduction should be used? This is something you should consider when using this machine. If you use my online mirror, don't think about those and my workflow. Now there should be 7 tiers. It's all practical anyway. Workflow 70 also. The entire ComfyUI image should be more than 70. Of course, you don't have to consider how big it is. It's not you. Okay, this way you can quickly convert a picture into a very high definition. And the conversion is perfect. If it was before, the Excel conversion was not very good. So this model has an advantage. It combines the previous Excel model. It will generate graph models, image painting model, image enhancement models, a lot of quick models, various targeted. But in this SD3, it is integrated together. For example, it can also be used to repair, can also be used to magnify, can also be used to repaint. A very complicated test. There is no need to add any null to precisely control the prompt words. In fact, that null cannot accurately control the prompt word. It doesn't make much sense. Not so useful. You cannot know. This is a local repair. You can understand a functional smear repair. For example, this picture. We bring it in. Then open this mask. Set up. Paint the area you want to modify. For example, you remove it all here. Re-edit. Then fill in a new prompt word. You can fill in any of the fields here. For example, I am writing about a magician. Where? Black robe. At the hilltop. Casting magic. Anime style. So be it. And because I use this. Deep hair. I think it's called Deepo. A web plugin, so there's a shortcut. Just type Chinese. Press the spacebar 3 times quickly. Automatically convert to English. This function is quite practical. Then you can just choose the largest and most complete model here. But, not FP, is the largest. This version is fine. Don't choose this. The separate one. Too complicated. And the hardware used here is all platform. So you don't care whether the model is big or not. Just choose a simple. The biggest and most complete one is right. Then this is submitted to repair. AVIE. Then submit it to the sample. Then this is Jess. Expand this mask. You can expand 6 pixels. Of course, this is not a pixel. Anyway, just adjust it and expand it. Then add a blur. Do you want the blur to be bigger or smaller? Let its edges blend more perfectly. This is the mask effect after expansion and blurring. This can be used to generate the final. That's it. Very perfect. There won't be many problems with the edges of the titles like before, etc. etc. This is not satisfactory. You can set this to random restart, because this is online. For 1090 graphics card, so the running speed is very fast. I tried running this 15 GB. The most complete. This model plus text comprehension comprehensive. This integrated model. To run a graph. 5 minutes. Maybe half an hour. Anyway, his model is really big. That's all. Dissatisfied, you can continue to generate or modify the prompt word. These are the 5 workflows of this model. He will make a lot of messes. You can continue to generate. I won't show this here. Workflows. Complete models. Everyone can use. I recommend using it online for convenience. At once. Save time to deploy and install not. Or the placement of this 40 GB model, etc. Directly use online. If you want to install locally, can open my notes. The first one is the latest. This is the SD amplifier. There is this model download. You can just click on it. Find this model and download it, then teach you how to install the model. Then this shows several workflows included in this workflow and screenshots of each workflow. How to use. You open the workflow, click on this main solution. I now have annotations for all my workflows, because I'm afraid of forgetting, not able to use. If you don't download, just click this. This is workflow download. For example, this SD3. Model download. They're very detailed. About this model. Features of this model. How to use. Model contains. Edited what. How to download. Which ones to download. Also recommended. For example, I downloaded one before. I don't want to deploy so many. What other text models are there? It's too much trouble to put it in a text folder. The last one, directly download a full version of the 15 GB model. I was wrong, it's not 10 GB. I think it is 15,800兆. Just think of him as 16G. If you want to be convenient, just download this 160 large model. Choose normal. Like this one is 16G, very large. But it is much simpler to generate effects and deploy. There is no need to download the model separately like this. You have to put its model in a different folder. Complex workflows have to be deployed. I think the first one is the most convenient to use. And the effect is perfect. If it's not perfect, you keep changing it. Draw the card until he is perfect. Okay. Let's go play.